This is Bobby C reporting out at MetLife Stadium here in Week 6 of the NFL season. As Big Blue comes from behind today, Eli Manning for the 31st time engineering a game-winning drive as the Giants take down the Baltimore Ravens 27-23. The Giants' offense had been out of sync, but head coach Ben McAdoo said that Big Blue finally found a rhythm here against the Ravens.
Once we settled into the game, started playing with some good tempo and energy. Runs were tough to find. They're good against the run like a lot of teams are in this league. We have to find a way to run it better. Felt we found some rhythm in the passing game. We completed the ball a little bit. You have to eliminate the turnovers. That's a big part of things moving forward.
Not to be outdone, the Giants defense made some big plays too. Safety Landon Collins had a sack and 12 tackles on the afternoon.
You have the confidence in one another and just making plays and making sure we get off the field on third down. That's our biggest key to get off the field. And we had problems with doing that last year and getting the ball back in our offensive hands so they can march the ball downfield and score, get 3 points. Our mindset is make a play and get off the field.
Huge day for quarterback Eli Manning as he enters the 300 touchdown club, and him and Beckham connecting twice, including the game winner. A banged-up Beckham turned a short 4th and 1 pass into a winning 66-yard catch and run with 1:24 to play. The Giants snapped a 3-game losing streak.
I thought that was what we needed, and Coach did a good job just saying, hey, we're gonna go fast and get up there, win against a good defense, and guys, we were able to hit a couple big plays, and so I think it was fun. It's fun to get out there and see our guys, making the plays that we expect them to do, and it was a big win for us.
Never thought I would see a man propose to a kicking net, but Odell Beckham Jr. is an interesting character to say the least. He's also the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Odell and the Giants will now take their show on the road. Big Blue will face the 3-3 Los Angeles Rams in London. Last weekend's win saved the season, but every matchup moving forward will be just as important for the 3-3 G-men who haven't lived up to my expectations of a potential 11-5 kind of team. I'm sure Giants fans and brass alike agree. Meanwhile, the New York Jets have also failed to meet expectations. Gang Green lost another tough game last Monday, falling 28-3 to the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. They are 1-5 and way off my prediction of a playoff team, let alone a possible 10-6 playoff team. The loss has prompted head coach Todd Bowles to finally make a switch at quarterback. The Jets will start Geno Smith under center this Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Sorry, Ryan Fitzpatrick. We'll have a full report next time on the show. Sad news from Jets land. Dennis Byrd, who walked again after a 1992 neck injury to become an inspirational leader for the Jets following temporary paralysis, died in a car accident. He will be remembered during a pregame ceremony this Sunday. He was 50 years old. On the ice, the New York Rangers will skate in Washington Saturday night before returning to the world's most famous arena Sunday for a matchup with Arizona. The Broadway Blue Shirts are coming off a tough 2-1 defeat to Detroit on Wednesday night. Rangers are 2-2 to open the season. The Islanders are home tonight for Arizona. They are 1-3. Last time out, they lost 3-2 to San Jose. Isles will also have Minnesota on Sunday at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. In MLS soccer, the New York Red Bulls will square off against Philadelphia Sunday, while NYCFC will face Columbus. Our BronxNet cameras will be at Yankee Stadium for the regular season finale Sunday. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. The New York Football Giants stand behind kicker Josh Brown, despite new information emerging regarding his domestic violence case with his spouse. An alleged Brown journal has emerged where he writes, "I have physically abused my wife." The Giants have decided to leave Brown behind for the London trip, but came out this week again in support of the kicker. In local college action, Fordham topped Yale 44-37 last Saturday at Rose Hill. The Rams will now have Georgetown at home Saturday. That game gets going at 1 p.m. in the Bronx. Fordham is excited for a matchup at Yankee Stadium in November. The Rams will play Holy Cross at the Big Ballpark in the Bronx. Tickets are still available. In NBA preseason action, the Knicks topped the Nets 116-111 last night on the hardwood. The NBA season opens for the Knicks this coming week against defending champion Cleveland. The Nets will be in Boston Wednesday night. The NBA season is ready to rock and roll. The WNBA season is in the books. Your new champion, the LA Sparks. The Sparks topped Minnesota 77-76 Thursday night to take home the crown. It was nice to see Candace Parker and company and, of course, Sparks owner Magic Johnson hoisting the trophy. Everyone needs a Tim Tebow update in their lives. He got his first hit in the Arizona Fall League this past week following a terrible slump to start the campaign. He has looked overmatched, but has definitely brought in some fans. On a better AFL note, the Yankees have to be pleased with the return of Greg Bird from injury and newly acquired Gleyber Torres. The two are killing it in Arizona. Torres, of course, the centerpiece of the trade with the Chicago Cubs earlier this summer that landed flame-throwing reliever Aroldis Chapman in Chi-Town. And of course, speaking of the Chicago Cubs, Chicago is one win away from the Fall Classic. They beat the Dodgers 8-4 Thursday night in Los Angeles to seize a 3-2 series lead. LA lost the opener of the series but came back with 2 straight wins, one in Chicago and the opener in LA behind ace pitchers Clayton Kershaw and Rich Hill respectively. However, the Cubbies, battling the longest World Series drought in history, battled back and the offense got rolling in consecutive wins in games 4 and 5. The series now shifts back to Chicago for Game 6 and possibly Game 7. Kershaw will toe the rubber in Game 6. He led the Dodgers to a 1-0 win in Game 2. My Giants and Jets picks have been shaky, but the Cubs are still on pace to make and potentially win the World Series. The Cleveland Indians also made good on my ALCS pick, advancing to the World Series in 5 games. They motored through the hard-hitting Toronto Blue Jays. Your ALCS MVP, former Yankee reliever Andrew Miller. Miller became just the 4th reliever to win ALCS MVP. In the playoffs against Boston and Toronto, the 6'7" left-hander has struck out 21 batters in 11 2/3 innings. He will be missed in the Bronx, but congrats to Miller and the Indians on winning the pennant. Game 6 of the NLCS is Saturday night. Game 7 would be Sunday. Game 1 of the World Series is Tuesday night in Cleveland. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for the man who should throw out the ceremonial first pitch in Cleveland on Tuesday night. Last year, this time, we spoke about movies and sports. There was that cool nugget about Back to the Future 2 and its call for the Chicago Cubs to win the World Series in 2015. Perhaps the film was 1 year off. It certainly looks like the Cubs this year. What's crazy, of course, is the 2 longest droughts in baseball history, the Indians and the Cubs, who have combined for 175 years without a World Series win. And although the Indians don't really have a curse to contest with, Google the GOAT in Cub lore, the Indians do also have a movie to hang their hats on, and one that called for a World Series appearance when the team wasn't very good either. That would be the 1989 classic Major League. With that said, I think it's time to see Wild Thing again. Actor Charlie Sheen took to Twitter to say that he would be more than happy to put on number 99 and take the hill for the ceremonial first pitch. His character in the movie, ex-con Ricky Vaughn, helped the Indians win the pennant in the film. Perhaps he could energize them again in the Fall Classic in reality. After all, an Indians-Cubs World Series matchup is the stuff movies are made of. We'll see if the Wild Thing gets the call. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.